So today, if you haven't guessed by the title, I'm going to be talking about Shadowhunters, a TV show based on the series of books by Cassandra Clare. Now, I was not going to make this video for ages because I didn't have very positive opinions to share, and I don't really like being negative for the sake of being negative. When the show started, I really didn't want to make a video on it, but things have happened and now the series has ended, and I feel like now is a good time to reflect and maybe discuss some of my thoughts on the show. First things first. No, I'm not gonna do it. Okay. The main problem I had with the show in the beginning was I thought it was moving way too fast, actually, which makes sense because they've already had the movie out, so I can understand why the TV show is trying to kind of rush through these events in the first book because people have already seen them being adapted before, but they're doing it in a way that doesn't make sense. For example, like, in the first episode, Clary's really confused as to what's everything, like, what everything is, what's going on, the whole shadow world, and then within the second episode she's holding a sword like, I'm ready, I want to fight, and I'm like, that was just too fast. You can't develop her character that quickly. It didn't make any sense. You just kept chopping and changing, and then it was like, I don't want anything to do with you, oh wait, I feel like I belong here, and I'm like, what? Also, while we're on the subject of Clary, I feel like people know what I'm gonna say, and it's not the acting I have an issue with. Like, she's a good actress, I know she's a good actress, I've seen her in other things. She's just, it's overacting, and I don't really know. I don't like it. I feel like she's not as sassy and funny as Clary was in the books. I feel like she's a bit too serious. I feel like she kind of is not bringing everyone down, but she's always kind of the voice of reason, or like she's always trying to set these plans, and I'm like, but actual Clary's more easygoing, and I know she's in like a serious situation, but still. And the thing is, with the lack of her kind of personality coming through, and the extreme lack of Jace's personality coming through, he's like a completely different character. I'm sorry, all of his lines in the show are simply to further plot. He just like info dumps all the time, keeps telling her about like all these different things and how they work, and because he's just there, he's kind of just there to give us information. He's not there as a character, so like we don't get his funny sarcastic comments, we don't get his snarky attitude, we don't get his determination to being a Shadowhunter, we don't get any of that, which is why when they like kiss, it's so hard to ship it, because I'm like, I don't feel like I know these characters. Like, obviously I know them from the books, but that's different. Like, if you just base it on the show, it doesn't make sense for them to be together. Also, again, it's too fast. It's just like, it's very insta-lovey, and it's one of my pet peeves. I hate that. And like, I'm not shipping it because I don't feel there's any chemistry there, and I'm just like, stop. The first positive thing I have written down on my little page of notes is Simon. I love Simon. I think that the actor plays him so well, and I love Simon. Also, strangely, this didn't happen with the books, but in the show, I'm kind of shipping him with Raphael. I really like them together, and I really like that they're kind of friends, but like, there's an edge. I don't know. I wouldn't be sad if that happened, just saying. I'd be happy with that change. Also, I really liked the bit with Max. I thought he was so cute, and I'm just so glad that we got to see Max in some capacity, and like the Lightwood's relationship with him, I thought that was adorable. I was really happy with that. Also, the one episode that I did really like was, obviously the Malik episode, but we'll get to that later, was the world inverted one, where they like go to the parallel universe. At the beginning, I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? This is stupid, this does not happen. But then I just love the fact that like Izzy was wearing a Star Wars shirt, because it reminded me of that bit in City Fallen Angels, if you haven't read it, but like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's very cute. There's a Star Wars kind of reference with Simon and Isabel, and it was really cool. And I really liked kind of the like Magnus's tarot cards. I thought that was funny. I thought like that was like one of the bits of the show that I genuinely laughed, and I actually felt kind of the humor coming through, because the books are quite funny. Like, when I was reading them, yes, they're quite dark and, you know, intense, but they're also really funny. Like, you need that comic relief. You can't just have intensity all the time. And that was kind of the first episode where I felt that they were experimenting a bit with like the tone of the show, and I was like, this is working, please keep this. And then the Malik episode, oh my god. I know the wedding scene doesn't happen in the books, but I just didn't care. I'm sorry, like, that scene that scene will kill me, and then I'll have it playing at my funeral. That's how much I love that scene. I've watched it at least, I don't even want to put a number on it because I don't actually know. I mean, I'd say it over 10 times a day. I love it. I just thought it was so perfect, like the music and everyone's reactions, and just I loved how Alec was finally standing up to his parents. And then I just love the fact that we have Alec and Magnus's relationship on screen, because even though there was like a throwaway line in the movie, like they didn't really develop that at all, because it doesn't actually really develop in the first book. That episode nearly made me forgive the show for like all of the other sins. I think the last thing I have to say is just a little kind of run through over the finale. Hodge is being a little douchebag. Also, like the bit where Jace was like to Hodge, and they're having this fight in the finale. Like, spoilers if you haven't seen it, maybe go watch that. And then actually, I don't know if you don't have to watch it, it's okay. But the bit where Jace is like fighting with Hodge, and he's like, we loved you, you know, you were part of our family. And I'm like, this is like the first scene I've seen them in together in the show. Like, we just have to like assume that they have this deep connection. We haven't even seen that. Like, I've never seen them like chatting or bonding or like even like working together. I'm like, how am I supposed to believe that this moment is really like intense and heartbreaking if I don't actually believe that you guys are like meaningful to each other? It just didn't make sense. This is why it's a problem that they rush through everything, because they haven't had time to build up the relationships, which means that when stuff like this happens, like the betrayal, it's not as cutting and like heartbreaking. Also, I'm so done with Jace's identity crisis. I just can't be arsed with it, to be honest. He's like, oh, I'm Valentine's son, which means I'm evil. I'm just like, no, stop. Also, it's like, we know as readers, like, it's not true, and he's just upsetting over this thing that's not even an issue now, and I'm like, stop it. And it's just, it was irritating me. He was just acting like a child. Oh god. And he was just going rogue, and then Alex like, no, don't. But the thing I did like about that is when Alex steps in to stop Jace from being violent, like you finally see like their parabatai bond, because they're like, you know, they're offsetting each other, working together. Also, I was really pissed when they were like, earlier in the series, they were like, oh, you're weakening the parabatai bond. I'm like, you cannot weaken the parabatai bond. Read Lady Midnight, okay? You cannot weaken that shit. Also, then they went to find Camille, who's in that coffin, and I'm just like, I don't like Camille. Obviously, you're not supposed to like her in the books, but in the book, she's like, she's quite a cool villain, like, she's threatening, like, she's the only person that has, like, properly broken Magnus's heart in the past. She's supposed to be a scary presence, and this character in the show, she's just like waltzing around like in this like dress, and she's all like flicking her hair, and she's all very like, very stereotypical vampire. If you've ever seen like the Vampire Diaries, she's very just kind of like, and I'm like, I don't think Camille is like that. I think she's actually like a scary person, and I'm just not scared by this person in the show. I'm just like, like every time she's on screen, I'm just like, go away. You know, I feel like you could just really easily just push her down. I don't know, like, she's not scary at all. She's kind of like a petulant child, and I don't know, that's kind of a running theme. I'm just saying, like, quite a lot of the characters are just quite immature, and I think that's maybe a problem with the writing, if it's a recurring issue, but I don't know. Although I did like the bit with Camille when she like kissed Magnus, and then Alec was there and it was awkward, and then Magnus was like, she's crazy, and I was like, yeah, totes agree. Oh, I never say totes, why did I just do that? Also, just looking at the series as a whole, I find it's very repetitive, and I think this is again like an issue with the writing, so I just hope this improves. Whereas Claire is just like, in the beginning, we have to find mom, we have to find my mom, and I'm like, yes, get you, that's fine. But then like once they find her, the next issue is like, we have to find Valentine, we have to find Valentine, we have to find Valentine, and it's like, okay. And then like in the last episode, like Jace goes AWOL in his little mission or whatever, and they're like, oh, we have to find Jace, we have to find Jace. I'm just like, you're just like finding things, like this is like an Easter egg hunt, like what's going on? And I guess like it just makes me sad, because it's obviously like the show is not as bad as it could be, like it could be a lot worse, I understand that, and it has some moments, like I've said, that I've enjoyed and I've shared those, but like I'm just sad because when you look at the source material, you look at the books and you just look at how good they are, and you're like, it could have been amazing, and it's just not, and that's what's sad about it. But the thing is, I will praise the show for Malik. I really like Malik, and I really like the diversity within the cast, and the occasional moments of brilliance, like that weird parallel universe episode, and like the bit with Max. Like, there are highlights definitely, but it needs a lot of work, and I'm just hoping that, because I think they've just been confirmed for season 2, and Cassie tweeted that she was going to meet with the producers to talk about the season, I just hope that because like the Malik episode was of such a high standard and everyone loved that they use that as like a template for what they go on to do. Obviously not every episode to be like about Magnus and Alec, but I mean like in terms of writing, in terms of character, like, you know, we get Alex signing up to his mom, like that's the character development that you want to see, like you want to see that. So I feel like they should just go off with that and that style, and I hope if Cassie's more involved that like it'll just get better. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's a lot more than 2 cents. I feel like I've said a lot. It's like my 20 cents on the topic. I'd love for you to leave your own opinions in the comments and we can have a discussion. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!